Hi, I'm Jill from Cricut, and today I'm going to show you how to make a project. My brother and his wife just had a super cute baby, and I want to be as involved in their life as possible. So I'm going to make these baby milestone plaques so they can take a picture of her every month as she grows, post it on social media so I can see it while they're living across the country. I have one for every single month, and I'm working on the last one, so come with me and let's make it. To make this project, what you'll need are a few wooden blanks. I just got these at my local craft store. Some iron-on, a cutting machine. I have the Cricut Explorer 3. A heat press. I have the Easy Press 3. A connected device with Design Space. A heat press mat, and then a few other tools and accessories we'll go through. Let's jump into Design Space. To find this project in Design Space, I will search baby milestone plaques. This pre-populated project is all designed, but you can customize it however you want. So for example, if you want to change it to another language, you can type meses instead of months. You can change the number of months if you want it to go a little longer than 12 months. I want to make it black in here, so I'm just going to change the color of the material from blue to black. And then you'll see that the 12 and the months, they move around free from each other. So in order to cut them all in one solid object, what I'm going to do is attach them. So to do that, I'll select all the objects I want to go together, and then I'll come over here and hit the attach button. What that does is it makes it all solid, and so that I don't have to do it step by step. Perfect. Now that I have that all set, I'm going to hit make it. Before we move over to the machine, I'm going to make sure that the load type is correct. I'm using smart materials, so I don't need a mat. Super helpful, takes an extra step out, so I'll select without a mat. And then since I'm using iron-on, I will hit the mirror button here. What that does is it'll flip the project, and so it cuts out backwards. However, when I use the heat press, it transfers the correct direction. So months doesn't look backwards. That looks all good to go, so I'm gonna send it over to the machine by hitting continue. In materials, I will select that I'm using smart iron-on. So with iron-on, you're always going to load the shiny side down. I'll hit the load button. Cool, now that the machine has measured out the material length that I need, I know that I'm ready to go. And I'll hit the go button. It's thinking really hard. Awesome, now that the machine has done all of the cutting for me, I will hit and load. Perfect, and so it's a little bit hard to see with iron-on, but what I want to do is trim away the excess material, so A, I can use the scraps for later, and B, it's a little bit easier for me to work with. So I'll use this trimmer here. Line that up nicely. Awesome, now that my work surface is a little bit easier to work with, I'm going to use this weeding tool to weed. What weeding means is I'm going to take away any of the excess material just so that I have just the design to press onto the product. So to weed, what I'll do is I'm going to pick at the corner here, and then iron-on is super easy. You can just pull it away from the backing. So iron-on actually has two parts. It has the iron-on itself and then this translucent sticky backing. So we will just pull it away. This part is super satisfying. It's my favorite, most therapeutic thing to do. I actually have friends always ask me if I have any craft projects going on and if they can help with the weeding process, because this is so therapeutic for people. And then I can use the weeding tool to get in some of the areas where it didn't pull out as nicely. So now I'm digging in with the tool to cut out any of the pieces that I want to subtract to get that nice design. Okay, last one. Awesome, now that I've done all of my weeding, I'll show you what the finished product will look like before we press it. So, since we did the mirror function, you'll see that it looks correct to you. However, I'm seeing it backwards. So that's why it's super important to use the mirror function in Design Space before you cut. Now that I have my design all ready to go, I'm gonna move over to the heat press. So I already looked at the settings in the Cricut Heat app, and so it's telling me I need to do 300 degrees for 45 seconds. So I will just select that here. If you would like, you can also connect the app to the heat press and send them automatically. While the heat press is heating up, I'm going to move the mat over and get my blank set to press. A blank is anything that we are adding designs to. So it can be this piece of wood here, a tote bag, a mug, whatever you're using. Again, I got these wood blanks in my local craft store, and so you can get them wherever you would like. I loved the look of these, and I think it'll really match my sister-in-law's aesthetic, which is something that I love about crafting. You can personalize it. Perfect. I want to make sure that the wood grain is aligned, and so that creates a really nice, cohesive, clean look. And then we will press it down. That's perfect. My machine is ready to press. So the backing is a little bit sticky, and so that'll help just make sure that my design stays in place, and then we are ready to press. So I'm going to bring the heat press over and hit the go button on the easy press, and it's super important to use 2 hands with firm pressure. When you're pressing on wood, it's easy for it to slide, so just make sure you're pushing straight down rather than in any direction. The irony that I took my hand off to say you have to press with 2 hands. Now that it's done, I'm gonna push it back there. What I love about the machine is that it will time it for you. There's no need to set additional timers. The machine will tell you how long to go for. What I also love about the heat press is it has an auto off function. It's a lot safer than your straightener or curling iron. You're not gonna have to take pictures of it on the floor just to remind yourself that you're not gonna burn your house down. It's all safe. While we wait for that to cool, I'll share a few fun facts about pressing on wood in general. I had no idea that you could press iron-on onto wood, but I love the finished and professional look that it gives. So you can see a full list of materials that you can press iron onto on the Cricut Heat Guide or the Cricut Heat app. Super fun, and it also super important when you're pressing onto wood to allow it to cool completely. Sometimes we get a little bit impatient when pressing onto new surfaces. So with any unique materials, make sure you're following the instructions in both the Heat Guide or app to ensure that you're getting a perfect press every time. Now that it's cool, we're ready to remove the backing. I'm just gonna hold my blank down, and this, you can make it kind of fun and do it really fast. Perfect. So we have a clean transfer and a perfect product ready to go. So I'll move that off to the side, and then I have a complete set of 12 milestone markers that will impress my brother, my sister-in-law, and then most of all, my little niece will know that I'm there every step of the way in her life. I'll see the photos every month. Everyone wins in this situation. It was super quick and easy to make, and so I hope you learned something. If you want to make more like this, check out our YouTube channel, and you can learn more crafts step by step.